Supergirl returns in a dreamlike state when we see Kara walking in a field and she sees Mon-El. She then sees her mom, now played by Erica Durance. In reality, she's just hovering over the city, and in that moment, you can see Mon-El's absence is still a bit of a distraction for her. She's almost a second too late to help Alex and Maggie as they chase down a big rig. She stops the truck and makes a quick getaway. We get quite the boardroom scene with newcomer Morgan Edge. Lena and James are both present, so it feels more like an investor meeting instead of a board meeting. Heading back to Catco, Cat Grant has moved from the company to press secretary to the president. Meanwhile, Snapper is on sabbatical, so James is the main man again. The man Supergirl fights to start the episode is Robert Dubois, aka Bloodsport. For round 2, she meets him at a military base, where he gets the jump on her thanks to a lead-lined building and a cloaked ship. She's interrupted by James using his watch to send her an emergency signal. This leads to Kara brashly quitting her job as a reporter. James is understandably worried about her, but she wants to hear none of it. Alex confronts her about it, and they get into a bit of a shouting match. She calls Kara out on her bad decisions and Kara flips it on her, asking her what she'd be doing if it were Maggie that was gone. Things get dark when she says Kara Danvers was a mistake and repeatedly says she's not human. Sure, it's true, but it doesn't make that statement hurt Alex any less, which she lets Kara know as she heads out the door. This isn't the heartfelt scene we were probably hoping for, but it's the one that needed to happen. National City is set to get their own Girl of Steel statue. The Dio thinks that's where Bloodsport is going to drop a cloaked bomb. John gives her a bit of a pep talk as they overlook the statue unveiling. Maggie brings up the wedding again, because yes, they are engaged. It's brought up earlier in the episode a couple of times, but this moment is where they dig in. Maggie isn't so certain Alex still wants to marry her. Alex quickly dispels that idea and they are able to have a nice little moment before things go wrong. A missile hits the event and Supergirl figures out that the people launching them are underwater. Gwen is unable to track the missiles and explosions, which sends Supergirl underwater. A blast knocks her out until she sees Mon-El's face and him telling her to wake up. She does, and of course, saves the day. There's no surprise there, but it's also likely that we'll continue to see Mon-El appear to her this way. Lena plays Morgan by buying Catco before he can. She then learns that Kara quit and tells her to unquit. By the end of the episode, Kara doesn't quite come full circle with being herself again, but she's getting there. I can't imagine they'd have her just get over her grief in a single episode, no matter how much time passed between the seasons. I have a couple of side notes for this episode too. Alex asking John to walk her down the aisle is a touching moment. And earlier in the episode, a girl ran into Alex. Her mom then bends some steel to save her. It's doubtful that we've seen the last of her as we see her abruptly sit up in bed towards the end of the episode. We don't get the Supergirl we're used to in this episode, but it is good to see this side of her. She does feel things like the humans do. She grew up with them, after all. However, we still get great heroics from the team, and we only get a mention of Guardian, so this episode is a solid start in my books.